What is up, y'all? It is Brittany Chanel. You already know I'm back with another YouTube video. This video is about gospel singer Leandria Johnson. She just did like a kind of like a Kanye rant. She basically was saying Christianity was fake, and she called out Bishop Marvin Winans. I mean, this is just crazy. Now, I'm glad I did the first video first to explain what I'm about to explain, because I mentioned this. A lot of people think like if you become a pastor, it's gonna be instant millionaire. If you become a gospel singer, a lot of people think it'll be a easier circuit to get into. But what they don't realize is, the evil ones have their hands in everything. Let's say that. Like, people think if they're gonna sing about God, it's going to, they, oh, I can sing about God, I can get this money, I can be a millionaire. But they don't realize that a lot of that gospel industry, it's all smoke and mirrors. It's the same thing as the secular world, just the gospel circuit, okay? You see all this stuff coming out on these pastors, sleeping with all the women in the church, sleeping with men or transvestites, having kids all the way, across the world, and that sort of thing, e-bezzling, e-scamming, e-swindling funds and all the rest of that stuff. And let me check somebody who just was on a post, who was mad. Don't worry about the coin that I'm making off of my YouTube platform. I've been getting paid off of YouTube. That ain't nothing new. You don't need to worry about how I'm getting paid for my opinion. See, that's just how the devil use haters, because they sitting back at home trolling for free, and I'm putting my opinion out and getting paid for stuff. It's a difference. You don't see me out here asking people for donations for a jet and the rest of that stuff, and saying that, oh, you could be delivered if you give me $500, because I don't move like that. I don't move like this. What you see on my channel and my videos, this is me. This is not me putting on an act talking about God because I want to seem cool. Because to be honest with you, I could have way more views talking about foolish stuff than to talk about God, because people don't really want truth. They really want to fall to their demise. They really want to talk about all that gossip, stupid stuff. That's what they want to talk about. But I'm choosing to help people. I'm choosing to use my platform for good and not evil. So I ain't worried about the haters. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. Now, but the reason I mention that is a lot of people think that if they talk about, God and stuff like that, which these hustlers, they know if you mention God, it's like an American Express type of thing. But what I've come to realize is that a lot of people who are in the gospel circuit, because I've worked it, like I've helped do PR for a lot of people, and I'm not even gonna name no names, but I've helped, even with a PR business, a lot of people, put a lot of people in the magazines and the radio for gospel type of stuff too, and I worked that circuit, so I know how some of these people move, and I can understand her frustration, because it is to you, like, if these people are professing God, why is it that they're so shady? Like, we just seen a video about what happened at the Potter's house. That girl got put in a chokehold and all kind of stuff, all because that evil I don't know if she was an elder, just had beef with her. And it's just like, a lot of y'all looking for God in these organized church organizations or in the gospel circuit, but y'all don't realize that the devil got his hand in a lot of this stuff. He got his hand on, you think you're going to be you want to make money doing cooking. He got his hands on that. Anything that people can do to make money, he got his hands on. You get what I'm saying? So this is why you really kind of have to depend on the Father, number one. And this is why God tells you that a lot of people is going to come in his name and be like, Lord, Lord this, and Lord, I casted out all these devils in your name. And he going to be like, get behind me. I never knew you. So I think this is what she's talking about with the Christianity, as we know it, because I don't think that the concept of God and his word is false. Excuse me. I think that the people and things that they do are false. You get what I'm saying? the things that they do, they have motivations and agendas. So you just have to watch people. You know a man, like I said, by his fruit. So you just have to watch people and how they move. Now, she did, I don't know what's going on. There's a lot seeming like it's going on because she's smoking cigarettes and puffing the smoke in the face of the camera. I'm not going to play the actual video. I'm going to play the audio for y'all to listen to. And then I'm going to put the link to the actual video in the blog because I'm on Grape Juice, thegrapejuice.net. I'm going to put the link to this article where they're talking about it. And basically the headline here is gospel singer Leandria Johnson goes off and says, I'm tired of this Christianity BS. From handing out loose cigarettes in church to cursing on social media and beefing with Matthew Knowles, gospel singer Leandria Johnson has been no stranger to controversy in her short but storied career. The Grammy winner is making headlines again as she sets sights on the gospel music industry in its entirety, but pointed out Marvin Winans of the Winans family claiming the gospel legend dissed her and treated her like a peasant. Johnson insists the incident is one of many with fellow artists of faith that led to her breakdown. I'm tired of being Leandria Johnson, she says. So I'm about to play a little bit of the audio from Leandria and stuff that she's saying here. So we about to see what she's saying here about Marvin Winans. And I'm going to stop sometimes as we go. I want y'all to hear what she's saying about Marvin Winans.
Father he is. He could have been mine, but no. He wanted to go past me like I was a peasant. Walk right past me like I was a peasant. Really? Really? You gonna walk past me? Really? And you ain't even know. I'm a product of you. But it's all good though. Now you know. Now you know though. Now you know. I tell you like this. I know what I have. I know what I have and I know who I am. I tell you that. And I'm gonna tell you like this right here. On some real nigga shit.
Pause. Did she say on some real nigga? Yo, she tweaking.
Now y'all gonna spread that. Y'all gonna make that viral. Love, peace, and happiness to those who know the truth and who tired of this Christianity bullshit.
So a lot of people gonna take what she said as Christianity is BS and that sort of thing. I don't think that's what she's saying. I personally think that she's just tired of, you have these people in the gospel circuit that walk around like they gods. They walk around like, they're so fabulous. They're the higher and everybody else is the lesser. Like they really have a vain complex. Some of them. I'm not going to say all of them because some people that I worked with in the gospel circuit, they were very pleasant. When our team was out there working, they were pleasant. But some people, I'll never forget, it was a bishop that said, they'll walk right past you. This is the type of stuff, if you have the spirit of the living God, and I'm not talking about, whatever, I wasn't there for this situation that she's talking about, but you're going to greet people, you're going to be friendly. Now, granted, let me look at it from another angle real quick to let y'all know too. I kind of understand what it feels like when people want to drain you out your energy. A lot of the time when you're so friendly and you're so, like when you talk about God, people are drawn to you. So it's like they constantly pull at you for your time. Or when you get up here on public platforms or you in the public, people, they feel like they're entitled sometime to your time. And that's not fair. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know what I mean? People, I've had some subscribers where they've sent me like way too many emails and was trying to check me like, did you get my email? And I'm like, listen, I'll get back to you when I have time. Like, you're not obligated to my time. Like, I'm not obligated. I don't owe no man nothing but to love him. So I can see it from that angle. And I can see it from the other angle. Like, yeah, some of these people, they do act fake and they do act like they just God's gifts to this earth. And, they want to be revered, and it's just these people are just walking pieces of clay. They're dirt. Like, you're the only reason that you're special is because God will put you in places and give you favor. But don't think for a minute that you deserve any of it, and don't think for a minute that it's more than what it is. You're special because God decided to let Jesus, number one, give his life for you, to redeem you, number one. And number two, when you decide to give your life to Christ, that's a special moment and you a new creation in God. But God is the reason for all. That's all I'm saying. Don't ever get beside yourself to think that you more than what you are, because God is using you as a vessel to get his message out, or whatever way he's using you. God gets all the glory, not you. So I do understand her frustration with that. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next part of what she was saying up here, and I'm going to stop as she goes on this one.
And guess what? Y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about me, honey. Because I don't give a two flying. I don't. I don't. And y'all ain't got to tell me to keep going and keep my head up and keep smiling. Y'all ain't got to tell me that. Because I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. But you know what I'm tired of, though? You really, 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 really want to know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of being Leandria Johnson that y'all know of. I'm tired of being Leandria Johnson that y'all know of.
So what I get from that is, I feel like she could be saying that she's tired of putting on the gospel singer facade, because a lot of them put on a facade like, God is good and all it is, and they always talk about, prosperity and that sort of thing, and always talk about the bright side. But like, I don't really see a lot of people talk about the pain and the struggle and what you actually going through. Like, everybody tends to me, sometimes when they're trying to be celebrity, they put on this front when behind closed doors it's other things really going on, or they're really not who they say they are. You get what I'm saying? It's like a masquerade type of thing. So, that's why I'm like, in order, in my opinion, to love God, you really gotta not want to you really gotta not want to achieve fame, because the thing about it is, when you try to make your own name great, you will fail miserably because you're trying to do it in your own strength. If God exalts you, then he'll put you in a position to where you obtain, number one, his favor, and people will see you for who you are, for real, for real. It ain't no side steps. You ain't got to hustle. I ain't never been a hustler type of person. God favor just was there, like the unmerited favor of God, because God is so wonderful and merciful. Like, and if when he anoints you, or what, anoints your hands, whatever he anoints in your life, he'll just put you before people, and you be like, Dad, how that happen? But I think that's what she's saying. I feel like she's tired of putting on a persona.
And I'm going to tell you like this. I could be on a Kirk Franklin level. I could be on a Mary level. Yolanda Adams, Marvin Sapp, Fred Hammond. You know what I'm saying? All of the gospel greats. Tasha Cobbs, all them.
I be looking at Tasha Cobb from the side ever since she did that song with Nicki Minaj. Ain't no way, you serving the Lord, associating yourself with Nicki Minaj. Now, I'm not saying that it ain't people in the world that needs to be saved, but you're not going to stoop down to their level to save them. You're going to pull them up to where you are. And that's not saying judge them and expect them to be at a level overnight. But Nicki Minaj be talking about busted open for some coins, and you supposed to be serving the Lord. Y'all don't got nothing in common.
R&B, Beyonce, Brandy. I could be on that level. I could really be on that level. If I played the game, I could really be on that level. I could.
She's talking about them politics in that music industry. If she played the game, y'all don't believe. Y'all still sit around thinking that people just get on because they're so talented and they just put in all that hard work. It's all about playing the game.
But I'm not about playing no games, though. I'm not about playing no games. And you know what people got? You know what people tell me? You got to get you a team. You got to get you a team together. Get you a team together. Da, da, da. I get all that, but obviously that's not what's here in the heart. It's not. Let me tell you something. I am upset right now. Y'all don't even know why I'm upset, but I'm so upset. I'm so upset. And the crazy thing about it is when people start talking out of the box or off the wall, that's when your ratings go up. That's when everybody paying attention. But when somebody telling the truth, it ain't nothing but 100 viewers. Ain't nothing but 100 viewers.
She ain't never told no lie about that. Let me put a diss track out on somebody or do something. Say I got a beef with somebody, honey. You'll have like 100, 200 people in the chat. You talking about just people getting themselves together in truth and enlightenment, honey, and God put God first, honey. You hear crickets.
Or less. When you're telling the truth, ain't nothing but 100 views or less. But when it seems like somebody off the wall or going AWOL, that's when everybody want to chime in and everything. I promise you. I promise you. Let me tell you something. Everybody that's on here, let me tell you something. I came on here telling you what I was doing. So don't come up in here and tell me reposition yourself and tell me you need to do this and you need to do that. Baby, let me tell you something. Don't tell me what the hell to do. Before you tell me what I need to do, you do what you need to do. You do what you need to do. Before
Facts.
you tell me anything, you do what you need to do. Because guess what? You just like me. You flesh and blood, just like me. You may not do what I do, and I may not do what you do. But don't come up in here and telling me what I need to do. You do what you need to do. Because I swear to God, y'all thought Labor Day, y'all thought my Labor Day video, my Patron video was something? Oh, okay. Don't come on here. Don't come on here. If you're gonna come on here, just listen. I don't need your advice. I don't need none of that. Just listen. Point blank period. Because I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of this shit. I'm tired of it. And everybody that's listening, and if you want to stop me, and if you want to keep me from out of your church, then you keep me from out of your church. You keep me from out of your church. And you think about what you're doing right now. You want to stop me because I said shit? You want to stop me because I said shit? For real? You don't want me to come in your church because I said shit? That's what you want to do? Oh, okay. And you go back in here on your Sunday morning and you preach. You preach whatever you preach. But why you keeping me out of your church for saying shit, but you making it up? Everybody else ain't what? Love and compassion have I drawn thee. That's what happened, but you ain't doing that. Because I said shit. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm done. Matter of fact, I'm done. I'm done. I am so done.
I feel like the lack of compassion too, like in the carnal Christian world, because it really ain't. Is the modern day Christianity how we know it is not how it really is supposed to be. These people have came up with their own Catholic paganistic type of church sectors and the rest of that. Like they wear crosses. Come on now, everybody know that the cross stand for Tammuz. It's a satanic symbol. When clearly in the Bible it talks about curse if whoever is hanging on a tree. That's why um, I believe black people were hung on trees in semblance of Christ being hung on a olive tree. Because I personally believe historically he was hung on a olive tree. and not a cross. He could have been hung on a satanic symbol. I don't know. I wasn't there historically, but there's it's been said that it could have been an olive tree and that the cross came from the deity Tammuz. And you know, all of this stuff that's in the church sector now, like people want to be the first lady, not even knowing that the first lady even came from the satanic ancestral relationship with Samaris and Nimrod. And that was Nimrod was Samaris' son, and she had the son Tammuz. That's how you got the cross and everything. A lot of stuff. People who do the praying hands and all of that stuff has nothing to do with Christianity. And it's frustrating to people because people they play a part. Okay? They put their best dress on and go to church on Sunday, the day to worship the sun god, but they swear up and down that they belong to God, and you know they put God first. But you going to church on Sunday though. You got a church organization building, but it's funded by the government and stuff like that with a 501c3. So it's a lot of stuff that is practiced today that's not real Christianity, or Christianity is not even the real name for people who really follow Christ. Like I think I could do a live talking about that. Like we could talk about the origins of Christianity and all the rest of this stuff and how there was infiltration of paganism and Catholicism in there. But I could feel her for saying that there's so much lack of compassion and ministry for people. People come to church, you know, broken down in search of healing, but you got people saying, "Oh, pay me $5 and I'll, you know, you could get deliverance," or I promise you'll get healed if you give me $500, or give me half your light bill money to pay the church light bill. It's just so many scams, and honestly, I feel like a lot of these scams are done on the senior citizens, the older generation that goes to church, and the poor people that go to church. You know, they take the money from the poor and impoverished communities, and you see them riding around in a Benz, a Beamer. You know, they don't even help the patrons in their community. Like, you got a church on every corner, but you got kids that don't have book bags or paper for school. They don't got food to eat. Like, the kids barely eating a meal at school, or you know, the kids is going to the church and they getting touched on and stuff. So it's just like, I don't believe, me personally, you just gotta watch how you moving with this modern day Christianity as y'all know it.
Everybody getting ready for all these conventions and I mean shit. I ain't got nothing to do with it. Let me tell you like this: I've always been Leandria Johnson, and I've always said my truth, and I've always been me. But guess what? I'm no hell to the no. I'm not finna change because you think that I should change. You think I should change because what? Because you think I should be doing this and I should. I almost said get the fuck out of here. That's what I almost said. I'm gonna tell you like this.
Didn't she just say it though?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm confident in who I am. I know who I am. And baby, let me tell you something. I ain't gotta be the Kirk Franklins, the Mary Marys, the Tasha Cobbs. I ain't gotta be them. I'm me. I'm me. And I will always be me. But I'm gonna tell you like this. Everybody that's around here telling us what we can and what we can't do, like y'all God, no. Y'all can cut that out. Y'all can cut all that out. Let me tell you something. You don't want to book me? You don't want to book me? Don't book me. Don't book me. My life ain't predicated upon your check. Huh? You better ask somebody. You better ask somebody. And if y'all thinking, she may be drinking. No, I ain't had no drink. I ain't had no drink. I just sat back and I just had to realize what's going on. I ain't had no drink at all. And those who really follow me, y'all know if I was drinking or not. My family that's watching right now know if I've been drinking or not. I ain't been drinking. I'm just upset and I'm mad. I'm tired of this bullshit. Yes, I said it. And if y'all wanna take me off or whatever y'all wanna take me off or whatever. Essence Festival is a couple of days away. And if y'all feel like y'all don't want me on it, y'all don't want me on it. I'm gonna tell you like this, I ain't control. I promise you that. Ma'am, am I done? I'm done. I paid up there, right? I'm done, right?
Well, there you have it, ladies and gents. She said I'm done. So she said she ain't worried about it. You know, her life is not predicated on people checks. Pretty much, y'all, I feel like she's saying that she's over people, and the faux Christian thing. Like when I was, even going to church, like you had, I've seen, like, we would have teen Bible study and that sort of thing at church, and those, like, the youth groups. And the ones that you see, the girls, they would be looking at me because I wouldn't be running all back and forth across the church. I was so unfazed and so unmoved. And that was because I didn't know at the time, but my spirit was telling me, no, I don't feel like I can't listen to everybody who does praise and worship, due to the fact of the matter. If I feel like your spirit is off, then my spirit is not gonna move if your spirit is off. If I feel like you are off person, like if I feel like you may do off stuff outside of church and then you come in trying to sing, you sick people can't minister to other sick people. It's hard. It's hard to do that. If you sick in certain areas, you know what I mean? I just feel like it was hypocritical. So it would be like the girls that would be in church, they kind of would like be trying to tell me like, oh, you sitting down on God and that sort of stuff. But the first one up to the prayer line, boy, be the biggest. I learned that young, like the youth in the youth group, the ones that be perping, like they just the minister's pet and all the rest of that stuff in the youth ministry, honey. They will be the biggest freak hoes that I've ever seen in life. And I excuse me if I'm a little ratchet, but the people, I'm just using that as an example of the things that people, the persona that people put on. Like people act like they a man of God, and then they turn around, they sleeping with everybody in the church. Or you got the woman with they dress down to the ground, but they promiscuous and running all around through the church and all the rest of that stuff. Like this is the type of stuff that be in ministry. Or you got people, they use people to get to the top because they think, they're so fabulous, and they just don't do right by their supporters and the volunteers of the church ministry and stuff like that. I've seen a lot of stuff go on, y'all. A lot of people be like, well, you so young, you so this, that, and the third. I've seen so much in that gospel ministry, honey, and I understand. This is why I don't go to church to this day. I don't go to an organized church building to this day because of the craziness that she's talking about. Now I don't know what her situation is with this particular with the Bishop Marvin Winans, but apparently she's past it. Like, and then you'll have uppity church folks acting like they ain't never cussed nobody out before. Everybody know they cussed somebody out before. I don't like church people that's carnal like that. They front and act like they never been to a certain place before, or they never, like, compassion is saying, let's help you get through whatever you going through, and I understand you going through a lot right now. Let's get down to the bottom of that. I'm telling you, it's even pastors out there, honey. They'll get you to go in there and talk to them in their office only to pray on you in the pulpit and to be telling your business and acting like your business is a sermon. I'm telling you, like, it's snakes in the church, man. Y'all don't want to believe it. She don't put it out there. Christianity, as you know it, honey, this false carnality, false Christian con artist church ministry stuff, it's gonna come to a close, honey, and God is gonna deal with it. He guaranteed that. Y'all let me know y'all's thoughts on this. I didn't want to be long with this video. I just think she's telling the truth on certain parts, and people gonna cast her aside because she done used the F-bomb and that stuff and try to make it seem like she's crazy and all the rest of this stuff. People only say you crazy when they don't have a way to really make sense of what you're actually saying. Like, a lot of times people that people think are crazy be making a lot of sense when your mind is spiritually mature. I'm not saying everybody, because some people are just off, but I'm saying that a lot of people, that's a lazy way for them to cast aside the truth of what's going on. Because people, they comfortable with getting up with them snakes, going to church every Sunday, in the $500 faith lines, and ain't nothing moving, ain't nothing shaking. You know what I mean? They comfortable sitting up in these organizations and dealing with these people. How is there a church on every corner and these people ain't delivered? You have to ask yourself that question. Why are these hoods so impoverished and the church is getting billions of dollars? You have to ask yourself this, because it has to be a flaw in that ministry area. Okay? It has to be a flaw. You preaching prosperity and everybody that's buying your music is broke. That's something is gone wrong with that. Something is wrong with that. Now, on another hand, I got so many views on even this whole gospel circuit. I feel like if you're gonna do anything with God, like I heard a man say, if you even gonna sing about God, don't even put your face on the album cover, because if you're singing about God, let it be about God. You know what I mean? So it's so many views you could look at this to see the truth in what she's saying, because I felt the realness there. Now, even though a lot of people gonna be like, she puffing cigarettes and the rest of that, like I could see past all of that. It's a hurt and pain there. A lot of people, they gonna cast her to the side. They gonna isolate and alienate her. They gonna say, oh, she this, that, and the third. And they gonna go back to their faux Christian ministry stuff as usual. They gonna go back to the reason why she used the F-bomb, because they always be on that blank stuff. I ain't gonna curse, but it have you getting on your real nigga stuff. Like, you be ready to get gangster with people when they be doing you dirty, but God had to reel you back in and say, it's okay. You know what I mean? Y'all let me know y'all's thoughts about Leandria Johnson down below. It's Brittany Chanel. You already know. Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I promise, my lovelies, I'm trying to get back to y'all for this live stuff. I don't know what they got going on, honey, removing this stuff off my account. But hopefully they have it worked out in the next couple of days, because I plan to return very soon. And I'll talk to y'all soon.